Not what Manchester City perhaps wanted for Christmas, guys. A lump of coal in their stocking. 3 defeats in 4 after they went down 2-1 to Leicester City, despite having 2/3 of the ball. 4 shots on goal for them, 5 for Leicester City. Where did it go wrong for them in this particular game first, Stevie, after they took the lead?
I mean, I don't think it's a surprise for anybody to think that Manchester City defensively can still be got. I think everybody pretty much knows that. What we didn't think was that teams could stop them in their attacking play. But just recently, not just this game, but against Cardiff City, they're not moving the ball as quickly as they certainly were last year. And that is key, because when you don't move the ball quickly, that means you can get your defenders into good positions defensively, and you can defend, and then they stay in the game. And then when you keep teams like a Leicester in the game, they've got some ability where they can hurt you given the chance. And that's kind of what we saw today.
Another wonder striker taking its toll, Craig. First 15 games we were talking about this team perhaps being the best we've ever seen in the Premier League. Rather different tone being set over the last 4.
Yeah, well, that's just idiots getting ahead of themselves, isn't it? You know, coming up.
We're good at that.
Coming up with nonsense like that. I mean, I won't blame anybody here for doing that, but people do get carried away. This is just making for a great Premier League second half of the season, because Manchester City will bounce back. But as we were talking in the show, I was going to say end of the week. I forgot my time frame here. I think it was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Liverpool have got themselves into a position where I think they can consider themselves favourites, particularly if they win the big game coming up against Manchester City. The difference between the sides, and Stevie touched on it there, you know, they had Aguero has missed some games with injury. They've had similar possession to what they've had against most teams, but they haven't been killing teams off. And in December alone, they've lost 12 goals.
Yeah.
Right. You put that to Liverpool. I'll give you a reference. Tottenham, I think, have lost 8 in December, and that included a horrendous game at the Emirates where they lost 4, and Liverpool have lost 2. Right. There's the difference. Liverpool have lost 2 goals in December while still being as clinical and as efficient going forward. That's been the big difference. The Liverpool train it's chugging along still. It's chugging along. It's doing its job, and when it's not running particularly well, it's still solid. But Man City, when they're not doing it at one end of the field, it's affecting them at the other end of the field.
And now you've got Pep Guardiola coming out and saying we've got to change the dynamic for Manchester City. Why? Why has it come to this?
Manchester City, we hold them to such a high standard now because they had, you know, most managers will say, if I've got 8 of my guys at their best on any given day, we'll win.
Yep.
And Manchester City last year were having 10 on their day. And so they were so good and nobody could touch them. Now we're seeing a little bit of a drop in their level, and everybody else, they don't have that aura around them. You know, last season, teams were going to play them and they were 1 down before they started. That's not the case, because teams have been getting at them. Teams are more confident against them. They don't sit back and let them play, because if you do that, they can hurt you.
Yeah.
So, you know, a combination of all those things, now Man City are being asked questions. And right now, they don't have any answers for them.
It's interesting, isn't it? They took the lead in both defeats against Palace and Leicester, undone by wonder strikes, and it leaves Manchester City now not only behind Liverpool, but in 3rd place. Spurs have leapfrogged them, but City now 7 points behind Jurgen Klopp's side